So it's time for me to introduce you to some new additions. So one of our major problems at the farm is we have no electricity, which means when it comes to hatching, incubating and brooding chicks, it's just a no-go. That means we have to do it here at home, and then we have to slowly harden them off as you would do plants, and then take them to the farm when they're fully ready. It also means that we're currently back into really smelly, poopy chicks and goslings in the house. But on sunny days like this, it's nice to get them outside, let them have some grass, and hopefully they will grow up quick and we can get them up to that farm to join mother. So here we have 5 Ebden goslings. And I have to admit, I was a bit wary of hatching goslings because lots of people said it's really hard. And I'm afraid I completely forgot about them. Where are you going? Hello? Are you off? Where are you going? Come back. People said you needed to give them a cooling off period every day. You needed to humidify them every day. I'm afraid that I stuck them in the incubator and promptly forgot about them. And it wasn't until... You're obsessed with coming out. It wasn't until day 22, oh no, day 28 rather, when I suddenly realised they were supposed to be hatching, that I candled the eggs and I found 5 out of 6 had started to come out. Now of the 5, 4 hatched out quite happily. 1 was in a tiny egg, so I knew from the get-go it was going to need help because although it was a smaller gosling, it just didn't have the space to zip around and come out. I'm being eaten by this little chap. Hi. So we had to help just crack the egg open, and then he couldn't twist around, so we had to help bring him out of the egg entirely. These guys are completely showing me up. What are you doing? I know. I'm super excited to get these guys up to the farm so they can meet Mother, because of course Mother is about 20 years old and her mate died several years ago, so she's our rescue Ebden goose, and she hasn't seen another goose in years. And they love to come along and try and... No, don't do that! And pull out my lettuces. So I'm excited to see how she takes to these babies. She'll probably hate them. She probably wants to be a solo goose. So at the moment, they come out on this in the day, in the sunshine. They make so much mess at night. So now they're going just into a cat box with a towel, and they sleep through the night. And then they come back out in the morning. So you might have also noticed from the thumbnail that we also have some quail. I'm down to 4 quail hens. I actually sold my other quail, my male quail, to somebody else that was in desperate need because I had some new hatching eggs coming in. Of those 12 hatching eggs, we had 9 hatch, and here they are. So quail are super messy, as many of you know, so I've opted this time, because again they're in the house, just to have a towel on the bottom of this cage, and what I do is I just throw it in the washing machine every couple of days and put a new one in. It keeps it as clean as possible. You'll also know there's only 8 in here when there should be 9, and that's because we think one of them jumped out of the brooder, made its way downstairs, and unfortunately downstairs is where our Harris hawk roosts at night. The Harris hawk cast in the morning when he hadn't been fed any fluffy chicks, so we think unfortunately one of these little chicks became his dinner. You'll also notice they're a little bit bedraggled, and that's because they were living with the goslings, which all seems quite fine until I saw one of the goslings pick a quail chick up and throw it across the brooder, at which point the quail chicks were very quickly separated and brought in here. But you can see where they've had feathers pulled out and they're still looking a little bit bedraggled. But it won't be long until they're fully feathered up again. Now I often get contacted by a lot of people saying that their quail are flighty, they're not tame, and they just can't get anywhere near them. And I truly believe that my quail are fairly docile and easy to handle because they're hatched out as chicks, they're in the house, and then they're handled a lot. And I mean, they still jump off and run away, but they never run far. Even my adult quails, when they get out at the farm, the odd occasion they've got out of the hutches, they just meander around and I just go and pick them up like they're little lemons. So if you want tamish quails, honestly, hatch them out, keep the brooder at home, be in contact with them a lot, and when they're this size especially, when they're starting to become teenage quails, just handle them and hold them and show them that you're not a threat. And then they won't become really flighty, and you shouldn't have many issues. And I also find they're a lot less likely to peck and scalp each other when they're tame and docile like this lovely little chickie. Finally, it wouldn't be spring if the incubator wasn't already full again. I'm doing fertility tests for the khaki Campbells and the silver apple-eared ducks. Of course I could just break the eggs and look for the little bullseye in the yolk, but that's no fun when you want to have ducklings. I've also got a couple of quail eggs in there, some silky eggs, and also some hatching eggs of both the golden pheasant and the Reeves pheasant. Both of them are producing fertile eggs as well, so they are all listed now on the website for hatching eggs. Because we're only hatching out a few, most of the eggs we are selling, but that means because there's such a mix of eggs in here, over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we should have quite a lot of new babies for the farm.